Student hides his power only to tame a powerful spirit, attracting all girls. Starting the scene, we see our protagonist stumble upon a girl bathing. Attempting to reason with her, he blurts out he has no interest in children. Angry at our protagonist's statement, the girl manifests a weapon, revealing herself as Claire Rouge. With her going wild with her whips that slice through the surrounding obstacles. With our protagonist ducking and hiding behind trees, Claire accidentally puts herself in danger. Our protagonist, seeing she's in trouble, darts out of hiding and tackles her away from the falling tree. Although he saves her, he ultimately makes her uncomfortable, leading her to continue to hunt him. Waking up, we see our protagonist tied up by Claire. Acknowledging our protagonist saved her, she willingly reveals herself as a shrine princess of Aracia Spirit Academy. With our protagonist teasing Claire, he reveals that the headmaster of her school was the one that asked him to be here. Heading to a nearby dungeon, Claire reveals that she intends to tame a legendary holy sword, Demon Slayer. Yearning for power, she heads in. Demanding a contract be formed between her and the sword, she pulls the blade out, only for the blade to go berserk. Summoning her feline fire spirit, Claire has it attack the blade, attempting to have it submit by force, only for the blade to wound the cat. With Claire vulnerable, our protagonist steps in. Being pierced by the blade, he's able to form a contract with it. Having stolen the blade from her, she demands our protagonist now become her contracted spirit. Having been brought to the school on a leash by Claire, our protagonist escapes, heading to the headmaster. Along the hallway, he's observed as the only man in an all-female school. Eavesdropping in on the headmaster's room, he's caught by Ellis Farringard, who happens to be questioning the headmaster's intentions for enrolling. Greeting our protagonist, the headmaster reveals our protagonist's name to be Kazehaya Kamito. Chatting privately with Kamito, the headmaster notices that Kamito has contracted another spirit, implying that something had happened to Rosita, his old spirit. Given a tour by Ellis, his room is revealed to be a rundown shack. Towards the end of the tour, Claire encounters Kamito, punishing him for running away. With Kamito flirting with Claire, they're interrupted by their teacher, Freya-sensei. Introducing himself to the class, Kamito is claimed to be Claire's slave. Attempting to put distance between himself and Claire, Kamito is leashed by Claire, only to have Rinslet Laurenfrost to free him with her bow. Offering to become her servant, Claire and Rinslet tussle over Kamito. Interrupted Rinslet's maid, Carol, attempts to break up the fight only to trip and fall over Kamito. That evening, the headmaster questions whether Kamito will be taking part in the Blade Dance, a tournament his school holds. Heading back to his shack, he remarks that food is too expensive. Just then Rinslet offers Kamito a meal in exchange for him being her slave. Slamming the door on her foot, he instead offers to be her friend, for the food. Whilst leaving, Claire catches Rinalé feeding Kamito and challenges her. With Claire bringing out her cat, Rinslet summons her icy wolf to meet her challenge. Caught in the crossfire, Kamito's shack is caught on fire. With Rinslet decimating the remains of his shack, Ellis ultimately arrives. Scolding Claire and Linslet for fighting, Ellis is ultimately called a coward, leading to her challenging Kamito, Claire and Linslet to a 3-on-3 duel. With Kamito's room gone, Claire invites Kamito to stay in her room. Claire begins to shower as Kamito begins to cook up a meal. Interrupted, Claire is attacked by a water spirit. Without destroying the room, Kamito is able to free Claire from the spirit embracing as after eating, they begin heading to a gate where the duel will take place. Transported to a space meant for dueling, Claire reveals her inspiration to be Ren Ashbel as her inspiration for fighting. Eventually meeting with Linslet, the whole gang is greeted by Ellis. Beginning their duel, Ellis summons her wind bird. In turn, Kamito summons his holy blade, manifesting comedically as a dagger. Meanwhile, Linslet and Claire are able to defeat their oppositions. We cut to Kamito and Ellis dueling only to dodge incoming fire and ice spells, colliding into each other due to Claire and Linslet's poor teamwork. Out of the sky we see a demon spirit emerge, with a girl riding upon it, greeting Kamito. With such a powerful creature, Claire becomes overcome with greed, forcing it to submit with her strength. Believing she has tamed such a spirit, she's blown back, realizing she hadn't even left a scratch. Understanding her weakness, her spirit cat attempts to attack the demon, only to be devoured. With nowhere to run, Kamito is forced to step in, revealing he's Ren Ashbel. He conjures the holy sword, bringing it down and cleaving the demon into two with a single slice. Blaming Kamito for not saving her earlier, Kamito ultimately faints, having used too much energy. Remembering how he was born and trained to kill, he awakes in Claire's room. Shocked at a nude girl, sharing his bed. Claiming Kamito as her master, they're interrupted when Linslet and Carol check on him. Thankful for saving her best friend, Claire, Rinslet finds hiding under the sheets. Flustered at Kamito's perverted nature, she sends her spirit to attack him, only to have easily have the spirit bow down to her, revealing herself as the Holy Sword, Demon Slayer. Strolling through the school with Kamito is stopped by Ellis accidentally thinking he was hitting on another girl. Apologizing for the confusion, Ellis informs Kamito that Claire has not been herself ever since the death of her fire spirit. Rushing to her room, he realizes Claire is missing. Cutting to Claire as she walks down an alley, we see her approached by a hooded figure. Tempted with the power to undo her wrongs, Claire unfortunately gives into whatever the hooded figure is giving. We cut to the beginning of the Blade Dance tournament. We witness multiple qualification bouts occurring at the same time, with one being Claire's. With no spirit, she's hopeless against the enemy's Earth spirit. Being knocked down over and over, she gets frustrated, activating the dark power given to her. The black ooze emitted from her, she summons her dead fire spirit but cursed. Additionally, the ooze begins to spread around the arena with it cursing all other participant spirits, sending rogue and attacking their masters. With everyone running for their lives, Kamito arrives asking for to lend him strength. He's able to snap Claire out of her trance. With one swing of the blade, Kamito destroys the curse and reverts the spirits back to normal, even Claire's cat. Appearing from nowhere, Rosita greets Kamito after 3 years only to leave, summoning a golem to fight them. Claire, realizing Kamito in shock, demands who she is, finding out that she used to be his contracted spirit. To get Kamito to focus, Claire kissed him, bringing him back to reality. Ready to fight, Claire and Kamito charge at the golem. With every move Kamito performs, Claire is reminded of Ren Ashbel. With the battle ending with the golem slain and Kamito resting on Claire's lap. The next day Kamito once again awakes to a naked Making it worse, Claire, Lisbon, Carol and Ellis all witness their situation, punishing him for such perverted acts. With Claire and Kamito passing qualification, they form a team for the upcoming Blade Dance tournament. With their first match, they pale in comparison to an average 5-man team. Searching for teammates, they are able to recruit Lisbon, only after a little argument. With that, Ellis offers Kamito the option to join her team, with him refusing when seeing Claire cling to him. Before Ellis notifies Kamito, the headmaster needs to speak to him. Greeting the headmaster, Kamito is introduced to a girl, the second crown princess of the Ordici Empire, Princess Fiona Ray Ordizia. Apologizing for not knowing she was a princess, Kamito's apology is accepted only to have Fiona flash Kamito accidentally. Disgusted with their flirting, the headmaster assigns Kamito as her bodyguard. Additionally, sending him on a mission, with Fiona, to investigate several earthquakes in a nearby town. Spending time alone, Fiona flirts with Kamito, revealing she knows he's Ren Ashbel. Just when things were about to get steamy, Claire stumbles upon them only to break them up. Inviting Fiona to her dorm, Kamito is forced to agree with Fiona as she is willing to reveal Kamito's secret identity if he doesn't. Witnessing Claire's closeness with Kamito, Fiona realizes that he and Claire are contracted, implying they've shared a kiss. Utterly jealous, Fiona challenges Claire to a cooking battle. If she loses, she'll leave, else she stays. Beginning the trash talk, Fiona insults her washboard figure. With both completing their dishes, Fiona is ultimately the victor as Claire faints after having tasted Fiona's dish. Later that night, Kamito showers alone, only for Fiona to offer her services to him. Making such a ruckus, Claire discovers and joins in, only to have Fiona get jealous of Claire's crest and leave, surmising Claire would never understand Fiona's past. Having finished up, notifies Kamito of a battle occurring out. Cutting to the decimated battleground, we see Ellis fighting an intruder. Completely outwitted, Claire arrives, stopping any further harm to befall Ellis. With the intruder announcing he obtained what he came for, he darts away. Chasing after, Claire is able to derobe the hooded figure whilst Kamito catches up and trades blows with the figure. Exclaiming that Kamito is Ren Ashbel, it's revealed that the intruder is able to call forth multiple spirits and is the successor of the Demon Lord. Gio and Zagi outmatched, Finna draws the attention of Gio only to have her life flash before her eye when Gio's bloodlust was turned to her. With Kamito blocking an incoming slash, Gio disappears as Fiona falls unconscious. Waking up, she's greeted by Kamito and Claire. Wanting to have some alone time, Fiona and Kamito head to a nearby forest. With several hints, Kamito realizes that Fiona was a girl he saved a long time ago. Revealing her true intentions, she mentions that she wants to gain her pride back by winning the Blade Dance tournament alongside Ren Ashbel. Stumbling upon their conversation, Ellis begins to jealousy accuse Kamito of flirting with Fiona only to be calmed down by her friends. Heading off, Ellis remarks that she is searching for the Geo, only for Kamito to suggest she not too. Cutting to Claire, we see she's taken Lilat's advice, allowing for Kamito to massage her in order for her breast to grow. Kamito comedically walks in on her, leading to a misunderstanding. With the mission day arriving, Fiona is greeted by Lislet, who's decided to join their mission. As Princess Fiona doesn't know how to ride a horse, Kamito is forced to ride with her, whilst Claire and Lislet protest. Arriving, by night, at the abandoned location, the gang head in, noting that there is loud noises emitting from the heading in. They notice Geo facing off against Ellis. With her outmatched, the gang steps in to assist. Kamito faces off against Geo, shattering his blades whilst Claire and Rinslet assist. Geo, turning his attention to the girls, is able to dispatch and restrain them easily. While facing Fiona, Geo is outcast upon her using a single-use spirit gem. With Claire realizing everyone's okay, she calls out Fiona for using pads as breast. Interrupted by the cave's shaking, Est notifies the gang she knows how to get to the hidden shrine within the cave. Patting her on the head, the gang follows her directions, leaving the injured behind. Having successfully made it, Est is once again rewarded with a head pat. Noting there is a spring, Claire and Fiona wash up whilst Kamito and Est wait outside. Having waited for Geo to arrive, Kamito charges at Geo. Shattering another of Geo's blades, Kamito mounts Geo, only to dash away, sensing danger. Finally figuring out Geo's endless spirit pool, he calls Geo a fake demon lord as he's only able to make use of each spirit's capabilities once, before they disappear. With Kamito having stalled long enough, Fiona is able to cast an almighty spell bringing Geo down. All of a sudden Restia offers Geo power only for the gang to defeat Geo. Back on campus, Kamito wakes up to Fiona sharing a bed with him. Noting that Geo has been detained, Fiona rewards Kamito with a kiss only to be caught by Claire. With their next match starting, we see Kamito work perfectly with Claire, Lisbon and Fiona. Celebrating their victory, the gang head to a nearby cafe, stopping when Lisbon points out it's almost Claire's birthday. With Kamito promising to get whatever Est wants, Est dives into a huge later that night Kamito and Ellis chat. With her asking to help with a mission, Ellis informs Kamito of her sister, not related by blood, who will be returning soon. With his help, she hopes to make her sister, Velsaria Eva Farengard. Accepting the mission, Claire gets frustrated knowing that Kamito didn't ask her for permission, even though they've shared a kiss and master and slave. On the day of the mission we see Ellis unable to rally and inspire her squad. Right on cue, her sister Velsaria enters insulting her for having led so many soldiers to be injured. Deciding to test Kamito's strength, she eventually offers Kamito a spot on her team, only for Kamito to deny. Whilst Kamito and Ellis set on their mission, they are swarmed by fellow knights jealous of Ellis and Kamito having lunch together. Distracted by Claire's spirit, Kamito chases after it only to be led back to Claire. Attempting to apologize, Claire throws a fit upon seeing Ellis call Kamito's name. Following Claire we see her encounter a green-hair lady, offering to give her power. Claire refuses only to be webbed up. Breaking free she is shocked to see a fellow student have their soul sucked out. With their soul a shadowy creature emerges. Cutting to Kamito we see him encountering similar creatures. With Claire joining forces with Ellis and Kamito, we see Velsaria exterminate the creatures in an instance with her mecha suit. Having been wounded, Kamito awakens in Claire's room with both Claire and Fiona fighting over Kamito's body. Realizing their final battle is against Velsaria, they recruit Ellis as the final fifth member of their team. On the day of the battle, Kamito had still not healed, making it a 4 versus 5. With Velsaria suiting up, the gang focus all their attention on her. Attacking separately they find that Velsaria is able to react and return strikes to them. Suppressing their egos, they work together knocking Velsaria into the air. Having sustained huge amounts of damage, Velsaria is overcome with something. Springing into action, the weakened Kamito frees the girls from Velsaria's restraints. Dodging around Velsaria, Kamito can't find an opening. Noticing this, Fiona heals Kamito's wounds whilst Linslet, Claire and Ellis create an opening for Kamito. Defeating her, the sword is able to remove her curse. Celebrating within the tournament, the gang celebrate and punish perverted Kamito with lots of cake. Thanks for watching. Check out one of our other videos. Like, comment and subscribe.